Hello everybody and welcome to episode 2 of UniversalGiant Plays The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. Today we're going to be moving on to the first dungeon, which is inside the Great Deku Tree. And this is where we're going to start seeing differences between the original game and the Master Quest. Here, we're using Navi to Z-target another enemy, which is the Skull Wall Tula. Unfortunately, we have no way of getting it down. So we're probably going to want to find a different way up. Look at this wall, the vines are growing. We can probably climb that if we walk up to it, just like we can climb the ladder. But we don't want to do that, because if we do... Oh, what the heck, I'll just show you what happens. Try to climb past this guy, and if he's facing you, he will charge after you and try to hit you! Yes, the health meter in the top left. That is indeed a health meter. If your hearts reach 0, guess what happens? I'd rather not find out. Now, if you've played the original Ocarina of Time, you probably noticed that this is not the same dungeon you once knew. That is not a mistake. Remember, we are playing Master Quest, which means a lot of stuff is rearranged. First, dungeon map. If you check the start screen, you will see a bunch of rooms in the dungeon. In addition, you have a little map on the bottom right hand corner, which isn't that much help without the compass, which we will get later. That'll tell us where we are. I need to be a little more careful because I've already lost half my life. Gold Skull Tulas. We will explain those when we get to Kakariko Village. But Master Quest. Dungeons are different. Any dungeon that contains a dungeon map will be different. So the fact that the Deku Tree looks different than it did in the original version is no coincidence. Now, I don't quite remember what to do here, which is a little bit embarrassing because this is the first dungeon. Normally I try to go over to the right, but I think we should head upstairs first. So see, this place kind of branches off and there's nothing up there for me. So we'll kind of scoot over to the right and head up this way. The first dungeon, it's not necessarily the hardest, because it is the first dungeon and you're still getting used to the controls and all that stuff, but it's hard in a sense that you only have minimum life to do it with. What I mean by that is you can only go through this dungeon with a total of 3 hearts, and once you lose those 3 hearts, you're dead. And I don't know about you, but I'd prefer not to die. So we just got Deku Nuts, which I'm going to equip right now. If you throw a Deku Nut, it will stun an enemy. I actually don't use Deku Nuts very often, but I'm just taking them out for the sake of having them there. Okay, we stepped on a switch, and look at this. It lit a torch and opened a door. And now Navi's going to tell us that we can open a door by standing in front of it and pressing the A button. Pay attention to what the action icon says, because that's going to change depending on what you're doing at the time. The A button is very important. So we enter the first room, and the door locks behind us. That's bad. I want to get out at some point. You will see little eggs all over the place. Those are those spider thingies. And if you allow them to open up, they will hatch into spider thingies. What are the spider thingies called? Goma larva. I wonder if that means there's a Goma hanging around here. We'll have to see. But if you can get to it before it opens up, you can kill it before it can attack you. I'm going to see if I can get those guys down, because I'm going to have to jump up there eventually, and it's going to be annoying to jump there. if I have those things blocking me. Die! Yes, the jump attack is performed by pressing the A button when you're Z-targeting something. And it does twice as much damage as the typical sword slash. I have now obtained 20 Deku Nuts. And the number of Deku Nuts I have is green. It turned green because that's the maximum number of Deku Nuts I can hold at the time. So if I pick up another Deku Nut, that count will not increase. There are a number of different ways that you can get increased capacities to carry stuff. None of which are in here. So now we finally get to see what the Deku Stick is for. Carrying a flame. Take it out, hold it up next to a torch, and light the unlit torch. And when you're done with the stick, put it away because otherwise it burns and there's nothing left, and you have to get yourself another Deku Stick. Now, step on this switch, and those things go up. And we hear a timer. I bet that timer is for how long those things will stay up in the air. Oh, blue rupee, that's terrific, just what I need, rupees. Okay, I'm guessing we need to go over this way. Although I didn't see anything over there either. So step on the switch again, raise the platforms again, and make our way over to the left side, which is this side. Yes, there is nothing over there. But I wonder if we'll get something for killing this thing, because we will have killed all of the enemies in this room. That opens up the door, and reveals a treasure chest. It's a big treasure chest, so it must be something really good. This is either the compass or a brand new weapon. It's the slingshot! Yes, that's right, you get the slingshot this early in the dungeon. Get used to it. A lot of the Master Quest dungeons give you new weapons very early in the dungeon, because they make good use of it in the rest of the dungeon. But anyway, the slingshot. You can equip it to the C buttons. Sorry, I was cracking my fingers there. Yes, let's equip it to the C right. And I'll show you how to use it as soon as I find a good use for it. Geese, bats. Let's shoot it. Maybe it will die. That's very helpful. Okay, the Deku Baba that's kind of standing up straight will always give you a Deku Stick. So if you need a Deku Stick, just find one of them. Now we look down here, and we see the spider web all the way at the bottom. I wonder what happens if we jump on it. Hey, 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 shut up, Navi! Let's see if we can burn it off by rolling over it. No. Yes, we can. But I don't want to head down there yet, because there's a door I haven't been through up here. Yeah, remember when I said Navi would say hey a lot, and it would get very annoying? That was one of those cases. So there's a lit torch over here. And there's a spider web over there. But before we can burn it off, we get Deku Seeds, which are used for the slingshot. And if you want to get more ammunition for your slingshot, find yourself some of those. But let's go burn cobwebs, because that's fun. What's behind this mysterious door? We'll find out in part 2. See you then.